Hey guys, it's Sad, and today I kind of have a little bit of a different type video for you. So I had a subscriber a few weeks back. He messaged me and he asked for a video, if I could make a video kind of explaining what a card, if you want to get something graded, what could you expect your card to grade at PSA? And so yeah, I figured I had a bunch of nine tails for different grades. I figured that'd be the best one to help kind of show y'all and explain what a grade would get, and what if you have cards that you want to submit, but you're not sure what grade they might get. I'm just trying to help and see if maybe I can help show y'all what grade your card might get. So with that being said, I'll get straight into it and start off with a 7. So we have a 7, we have an 8, an 8.5, a 9, and a 10. So let's get straight into it. So I usually focus on WotC cards, which is Wizards of the Coast, but this really does apply to all Pokemon cards in general. So this one obviously is a 7, which is near mint. So near mint obviously is still a really good condition card. But the value goes way down from a 9 or a 10. Okay, so anyway, so 7, you can really expect a lot of scratches on a 7. You don't want any bends. A bend, basically, or a crease, really when I say bend, I mean crease, but a crease, you'll see like a little crease. If it has the tiniest crease, that means it's gonna automatically be a 6. So if it's basically mint condition otherwise, if it looks straight out of a pack but it has a tiny little crease for some reason, then it's an automatic 6. So a 7 and up is not going to have any creases, but it will have a fair amount of scratches. So you can tell right here there's basically this amount of scratches is what you can expect on a 7. It's easier to see on that light hollow back there. You can still see some scratches on the darker hollow part, but it really shows on this lighter hollow texture. That's why cards, speaking of which, that's why cards with a light hollow background like this color right here are harder to get 9s and 10s at PSA, because the scratches stand out a lot more. So that's what you can expect as far as scratches come. The back, you can expect quite a fair amount of whitening on the back. So you can see there's going to be, I believe, whitening on all 4 corners, and then in various spots along the middle edges, like right there, and then that corner, and then you can see if I can hold it at a good angle, but you can see right here, there's some whitening on that edge, and then down here there's some whitening, and then of course the corner, I don't think there's very much. There's a little white spot there, a little white spot there. And then, yeah, quite a bit of whitening on that corner. For talking about centering, you don't really have to worry about centering until you get into the PSA 9, PSA 10 range. So as far as centering, I won't really talk about that until we get to 9 or 10. But that is what you can expect with a 7. So let's look at an 8. So generally when you go up, you can expect less of everything we just talked about, scratches, whitening, and all that sort of stuff. So the 8, you can tell there's still some scratches, but it is generally less. This one still has quite a bit of scratches on it, but it can make up for it by the back not having very much white spots, very many white spots. As you can see right here, the corners look a lot less dinged up than that 7. So the bottom 2 corners are worse, but you can tell along the edges there's not really a lot of whitening like that 7 had. So generally, if the hollow is a little worse and the back is a lot better, they'll kind of average the grade. You can kind of get something in the middle, because these two here, I'll compare the 7 and the 8. The 7 and the 8 kind of have similar hollows. The 8 probably has a little less scratches, but they're pretty close to the same thing. But the 8 back, as you can see right here, is a lot better than the 7. So the back kind of, what I'm talking about is the back kind of carried it to an 8. you can tell on the corners especially, but as you can see on the 7, there's a lot of whitening on the edges that the 8 just doesn't have. So there is a 7 and an 8, and so now we'll go to 8.5, which is obviously a half grade. So PSA does half grades on every grade except for a 9. You can't get a 9.5 at PSA, and obviously 10 is the highest. So the 8.5 has a lot less scratches. That's basically the first thing you can tell right off the bat. There's a few scratches here and there. There's a little mark on it actually, which wouldn't help its case, but there's mainly the print lines is what you have to worry about here. And yes, print lines do affect the grade the same as a regular scratch like this. So that's a print line, and then like that right there would be a scratch, which is a really small scratch. So the hollow is in really good condition. The back has, those aren't white spots from, say, dropping the card or damaging the card somehow. They're just kind of white spots. You could say it was cut with a dull blade. I'm trying to keep it in focus here. But the difference between this card and a 9, I would say this would probably be a 9 on the hollow, but you can see white spots along the edges, just various white spots, little white spots, nothing big. The corners look good though. This would be a true card. I would agree with the grade on this one that it's not an 8, it's not a 9, so I got an 8.5. And another point is that PSA doesn't give out half grades very often, so really a half grade is pretty cool in the fact that it's rare in itself, because PSA doesn't really give out half grades very often. All right, so let's go straight to 9. Now 9, look at this card. It doesn't have very many scratches at all. You can see a few right here, but that is about it. I don't see anything on this side. There might be something, but I'm really, at first glance, you're just not seeing it. So like I said earlier, the centering, you don't really have to worry about centering until you get to the 9 or 10 range. And when you want to get a 10, the centering has to be no more than 40-60, which means basically 40% of the border on this side, 60% of the border on this side. So if it's more than that, say 61% on one side, then it's going to automatically be a 9 instead of a 10. So the 9 has a little bit of a white spot here, basically nothing along the edge. That corner's perfect. Nothing along there's a little white spot right there. A little white spot there. Nothing on the corner. There is a little white spot there. And nothing on that corner. So just 3 or 4 little tiny white spots. And a little bit of a scratching situation going on right here. But not much, again, like I said before. And that would get you a 9. So a 10 has to be, obviously, basically flawless. There can be a few white spots, and I say few, maybe 1. And the hollow has to, you maybe can get away with 1 tiny baby scratch, but that's basically it. That's about as lenient as they get on a 10. So look at the centering on this one. The centering is almost perfect. You could probably say that the bottom looks a little bit thicker than the top, but not much. And like I said, they have that 60-40 rule, which actually only applies to the front. They're more lenient on the back, and they say that on their website. It's not just something I'm saying. They are more lenient on the back than they are on the front. So if your card, I've gotten PSA 10s before that look off center on the back, but like I said before, they are a lot more lenient on the back for centering. So the hollow, just some dust that's on there, but the hollow does not look bad at all, obviously. I don't see any scratches. That's just some dust right there that's not wiping off, but there are no scratches that I can see from this card on the hollow. And there's no little specks. If you see little specks of where like a car got scratched here on the surface, that's not the normal hollow spot. And you'll see the hollow pop through right here, pop through the scratch. That counts, you know, just the same as a scratch up here on the hollow. So yeah, I'm not seeing anything. And then white spots, there are, like I said before, you can get away with one microscopic little white spot, but that's about it. And I'm not seeing any white spots. Just some dust, and like this right here, that is on the actual PSA case. It's not on the Pokemon card. So right here you can see it off the card, and then here may have actually gotten rid of it. But yeah, that's like a piece of dust. It's not on the card, and then you know, no scratches anywhere. So that basically is what will get you a 10. So I hope that helped. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll try my best to help you out. But thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it.